What up, fellas? A different video today. Different than what I usually do. Is actually explaining the game that I'm playing. You know, I don't really do that a lot, but this time I am. You're welcome. We're going over Project ZOMBOID. Now, of course, as I'm covering ZOMBOID right now, this is probably one of the more popular games that I've made a video on so far. The reason being is, of course, this is more of a recommendation and kind of a tutorial, or at least a summary of what you'll be going through as a new player on Project ZOMBOID, considering that I am a new player as well. I am fairly new, but I've been doing quite a bit of research with content creators that play the game often, for years even, as well as I've been playing the game a lot within the short amount of time that I've learned about it. I've been playing it quite a bit for like the past week or so. But yeah, I just wanted to make it clear as to what this video is about. You know, I am a newer player trying to help, you know, other new players that have just learned about this game's existence and how fun it can be to, you know, just explore a sandbox with this amount of detail in it. But anyways, let's continue with the video. ZOMBOID is a very complicated game, or at least it can be a very complicated game, and a very hard one. I'm going to try to explain this game as simplistically as possible and as fast as possible, because I don't want to be here for 1 to 2 hours, and I doubt you want to listen to this for 1 to 2 hours. So let's get into it. When you open up Project ZOMBOID, is this little screen right here. Differences in difficulty when spawning in this map. The map is actually located in Kentucky, so we'll start from generally some of the easiest to hardest. There are 4 actual POIs that you can spawn in. The 3 easiest are up here: Muldrow, Riverside, Rosewood. West Point.
For the love of God! Please! Damn!
Don't spawn there right away. You need to probably learn the game first before spawning in the hardest area. Spawning at Muldrow and going to this base or going to this house that you could make a base, in my opinion, is the best start for new players. Not a lot to clear out, it's just a basic house in the suburbs, and you could fortify and defend it at least until the first helicopter event. With helicopter events, if you really wanted to, you could just leave your base until the helicopter event is over, because clearly loud noises attract zombies, and a helicopter event is going to be loud. It will have a loot drop near your location, which will attract hundreds of zombies. So being at your base at that time, if you don't have the ammo or the fortifications to keep them out, it's probably best that you move away from your base until the event is over and then head back. But once you've picked a spawn point, you have to deal now with occupations and traits and build out your character manually to whatever you want. Again, there's no right or wrong build here. It's kind of what you want. It's a preference thing, okay? So the thing you need to realize is that this little thing right here, points to spend, this needs to be green. Rather it be 0 or 90, it doesn't really matter, but it has to be green for you to spawn in. So let's go here. We have a variety of occupations which are all self-explanatory. You have unemployed, you just get trait points. That's all you get. And you have stuff like fire officer, police officer, different public services in which are efficient in their own causes. Fire officer, you're athletic and good with an axe. Police officer, you're athletic and you're good with weapons. Park ranger, you're good with outdoorsman stuff. Construction worker, building, and etc. It goes on. One of the most interesting ones, name out two of the most interesting ones, is burglar and veteran. The highest points that you have to get back to neutral or green. Some of the best occupations to have. Burglar is one of the only occupations where you can immediately have the ability to break into cars and hotwire them, or you can pick veteran. This one again is high in points that you have to get back to neutral. Veteran, he never reaches states of panic. Panic is a negative thing that happens that makes you less efficient in combat. So having this is pretty useful, especially with dealing with large hordes. Again, you're a veteran, so you're extremely proficient with weaponry. This is the best class for weaponry and being able to actually use a gun early on. Then, of course, you have things like nurse and doctor, which are good for first aid. You being new, it might not be bad to pick up these traits because you're probably going to get smacked up pretty hard early on, especially if you picked a trait like long bunt. You're now proficient at using this. And hammer, which is a tool overall. Tools are actually extremely useful, especially if you know how to use them. This guy's a mechanic, so if we could fight a wrench, we would be better off. But you start out, you should probably stay crouched. That way, if there are zombies nearby, which there are right here, you don't attract their attention with audible footsteps and moving around. Also staying down so they can't see through the window. And you pick up food. You can also cook in this game, but there is stuff like food that you can take. Try to eat and drink perishables if you can. They're going to go bad inevitably, so you might as well take them now so that you can survive and go a little bit longer without food. You eat, you drink your foods here. You find canned food, definitely take everything you can. For example, like all of this, you take, put it into your bag, you collect all your stuff, but you find a can opener, you'll have yourself a bit of food for a while. Any sort of stuff like this is useful, especially mechanics. For intermediates, my character needs that. He is a mechanic, so that book's useful to him. You need to find intermediate and beginner books as soon as possible to start learning new traits, especially useful ones like first aid, mechanics, farming. Anything like that is extremely useful. Make sure that your water bottle is also topped off if you haven't already. Also, if you find clothes, rip them up into bandages. You'll need them. Lucky enough to spawn into a house with a gun already. My character's not proficient with weapons, but we could still take it just to be on the safe side. But after you have found all useful tools in your house, you go out, you need to try and find a vehicle because they are extremely useful, and try to get it started. You get it started, you drive away, you try to find a base, you try to find fuel, and you just keep looting. Main goal of the game is to survive. Don't die. That's it. It's as simple as that, man. You just don't die. If you like content like this, if you enjoy videos like this and want me to make more of them, if you want to see more gameplay or more games like Project Zomboid, be sure to comment down below, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on content in the future. Peace.